want to see how I get this look? Stay tuned on how you can beat the heat with this slayage. It is like super hot in Viva Las Vegas. So how can you beat your face without it melting off your face on the strip? I'm gonna show you how. First things first, I always start off with primer. And this one is the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. This is one of my favorites because it is not just a primer, but it is also a skincare regimen as well. So we just scoop it with this little spatula here. I'm gonna put it on the face. That in. It looks crazy at first, but it makes the skin look beautiful. So you guys, in the comments down below, tell me what is your favorite primer to use. How do you keep that foundation on your face to slay all day? There we go. Beautiful. She is gonna get ready. Ah, yeah. The next thing that I love to use is this Tarte Face Tape Foundation. This is a really good, strong foundation for the heat. So I'm just gonna put this on the back of my hand to warm it up. I like to put a little with my hand first before I use the beauty sponge. It's nice, full coverage foundation. But at the same time, it's not gonna melt off my face when I'm on the strip, because there's nothing more worse than beating your face and then all of a sudden it comes off. Let's blend that in with the beauty sponge. Gotta blend this in. Ah, yeah. So tell me, how do you like to put on your foundation? Do you use a foundation brush? Do you use a sponge? Do you use your fingers? What is your favorite way of putting on foundation? I kind of do a combination of a beauty sponge in my hand, as well as a makeup brush. I also like to use my IT Cosmetics flat foundation brush as well. So I like to start with the center of my face and start blending it out. Because foundation is just supposed to, you know, bring out the best of your skin, but it's not supposed to look like it's caked on, or that if you're wearing a mask, because foundation is actually one of the hardest things to match to your face. But great thing about Tarte and other foundations such as Fenty Beauty and Makeup Forever is that they have a really large shade range. So one of my other must-haves is this Tarte Lidlock eye base, because when it's hot, you don't want to just put eyeshadows on your lids. It's gonna come off. So this keeps your eyeshadow in place, but it also keeps it pigmented as well. So I just like to use my ring finger and apply the primer on my eyelids. It's better to use your ring finger because it's like the most delicate on your skin for your eyelid. So, or you can use a brush, however you want to do it, but I just prefer to use my ring finger to apply the eyeshadow base. That in there. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just need to make sure that the eyeshadow is staying there and that it's going to be nice and pigmented. So now while the eye primer is on there, the next thing I'm going to do is conceal any imperfections that I have on my face. So there's a couple of things that I like to use. One of them is the Fenty Match Stix, and this one is in the shade Suede. So I just like to put that on any imperfections that I have, and then I will blend it out with a beauty sponge or my hand, depending on where I need to cover it. Perfect. Blend that in. But because it is hot outside, I am gonna add some extra protection with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is like the best concealer because it is full coverage and it helps hide imperfections very well. And this one is in the shade Deep. So just put that on there. Normally, I like to do my concealer after my foundation. That way, it is easier for me to hide the imperfections. If I do the concealer first and then the foundation, it seems to show through. So this is the best way for me to put on concealer. So now that the foundation and concealer is on, I'm just gonna buff to make sure everything looks blended and smooth. That way it looks like it is my natural skin. Always remember to blend your foundation into your neck, because if you don't, it's gonna look like a mask on your face and you don't want that. Also blend it in a little bit to your ears as well. So the next thing that I have to do is apply my eyebrows, just to fill them in, because we don't want sparse looking eyebrows, because that's not cute, okay? We need that filled in. We need it snatched. So I'm just gonna brush it out. Then I'm just going to use an eyebrow pencil and just line my eyebrows. So this is a little bit of a process, but it's gonna be worth it in the end. So I line the bottom part to where I need it to be, but then I also line the top part as well. Draw that on there. And then I'm going to fill it in with my eyebrow brush. I don't like to line like the entire eyebrow, because I want it to look more natural and not look like it was stamped on with like a Sharpie or something like that. And of course, if you mess it up, like a little up here, no worries, because I'm gonna correct that with foundation as well. Have you guys ever had it where your eyebrows are like sisters but not twins? Sometimes it's always hard to get your eyebrows to match exactly, so I recommend just doing the best that you can. So right now the brows look a little bit thick and crazy, but don't worry about that, because we are going to thin that out. So I just need to find my little concealer brush. So now I gotta make sure that these eyebrows are twins and not sisters. So I am going to use my Rain Cosmetics cream foundation in the shade Honey Bronze. This is a really good foundation. This company is actually based out of Las Vegas, so the foundation is made for the heat. So now I'm just gonna correct any mistakes that I made for the brows, and also to tailor it as well, because we want it to look nice and structured on the face. You don't want unruly eyebrows, because that's not cute, you guys, okay? We want it to match. So I'm just gonna clean that up. And even though it looks thick right now, I'm gonna blend it out with my fingers and a sponge as well. You wanna drag that down and blend it. So now that I have done both eyebrows, I'm just gonna blend out the concealer around so it blends in nice and smooth. A nice transition. There we go. So now the eyebrows are twins and not sisters. So I need to get this face snatched, because I have a very kid-like face. So I'm gonna add some structure so that I can slay. This is the Fenty matchstick, and it's in the shade Espresso. I love these matchsticks because they apply really smoothly. It blends in beautifully. And so I'm just gonna add some here. They say you can do it in the shape of a 3, but I like to do lines. So I'm just gonna add that here. And of course, on the forehead. The great thing about contour is that it adds structure to your face, but it also warms it up as well. So I'm just gonna apply that, and also on my nose, make it snatched. Ah, yeah. All right. Now that we've got that done, looking like the lion if I were the king of the forest, I'm gonna blend and blend with my beauty sponge. It takes a moment, but it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna make my face look snatched. There we go. I'm making a little fish face. It looks ridiculous, but it has to be done so that I can get it where my cheekbones are. So the next thing that I need to apply is setting powder, just so that this face does not melt off on the strip, because even though anything can go in Vegas, that's not one of the things that I want to happen. That's not cute, that is not hot. So I'm going to apply the Fenty Beauty setting powder in shade Honey and bake my face. So for those who don't know what baking is, it's basically where you put the powder on your face and you let it sit for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then you lightly dust it off when you're done. That way it sets the makeup and it's not gonna go anywhere, especially in this desert heat, because it's been like in the hundreds all week, you guys. It's been like super hot. It's been fun, but you know, I gotta make sure that this mug is, you know, slaying the game. So we're gonna do my most favorite part, which is eyeshadow. Oh yes, this is where I get to be the most creative. So right now I'm going to use my Morphe eyeshadow palette, and this one is Day Slayer 15D, and I love it because it has like all these nice neutral shades on here. And so I'm going to use the shade Epic right here, Epic and Define as my transition shades. I like to mix them and then apply that to my crease. I have hooded eyes, so I have to work harder to make dimension for my eyeshadows, because if I don't, then it just looks like eyebrow and lid. So I have to apply the transition shade a little bit higher so that it looks like I actually have a crease. So that's one of the tricks to do if you have hooded eyes. So I'm just gonna blend, 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 mix the two shades. There we go. See, now it looks like I have more dimension over my eyes. See the difference here? And now it's a little bit more structured. Yes! So now we just have to do the other side. So now that both sides are done, I'm going to apply my favorite colors. So far I have applied the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. This is the Mini Lila palette that I got from Sephora. I used the shade Poison Berry on my lids, so I just made sure to pat on the pigment. Now it looks crazy right now because it's not blended out, but the thing with this palette is that you want to pat on the eyeshadow, that way you get the most pigment payout as possible. And then after that, we're just gonna blend it in a little bit so it looks a little bit more smoother. Just gonna blend, blend, blend. See how it looks a little bit more blended in and not crazy. You wanna make sure your makeup is a nice transition. You don't want harsh lines. Now, if you're doing like a crease cut, then that's something entirely different. But if you're just applying eyeshadow, you wanna make sure it's nice and blend like water, like it blends out really smoothly. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more of the Epic and Define shades here to darken it up. Sometimes you have to reapply the shadows, that way you can get the most payout. And I also like to apply a little bit here, that way it adds a little bit more dimension to my face because I have hooded eyes. Okay, so that part is done. Another thing that I like to apply on top of the Natasha Denona eyeshadow colors is the Tom Ford Private Eyeshadow in the shade Violet. This is absolutely beautiful. It is a nice soft purple color. It is my favorite. It reminds me of the colors that I would use when I would compete in pageants, because in my very first pageant, my mom got me eyeshadow palette from Victoria's Secrets, and it was like this beautiful light lavender color. So this is like a perfect shade that reminds me of that. So I'm just gonna apply that on my lid. And I'm using this Artiste brush. I love these because it gives the most pigment payout when you apply eyeshadow. So with these type of brushes, it's actually gonna go on your eyelid and not absorb into the brush, because you don't wanna have to like dig to put on eyeshadow. It shouldn't have to be like that. That is beautiful. I love this shade. So I just like to put that on the lid, not all over, but just like the main part here, just so it adds like a little bit of highlight and dimension to the face. So now that my face has baked for a little bit, I'm gonna dust it off. There we go. That way it sets the makeup and we are good to go. Fenty Beauty, I see you, girl. I just, like, Riri is killing it in the game. I'm just like a huge fan of hers. I love her makeup, her style, her hair. She is such an inspiration. So Fenty Beauty, I see you, girl. I just love it. So I have applied the Sephora waterproof color crayon in the shade Lace Black. I applied it on my lower lash line and upper lash line. So the next thing that I am going to do is apply some liquid eyeliner. So this is the color Ink from Morphe. I just love Morphe. It's affordable, but they also have really good quality makeup as well. So I'm just gonna do a cat eyeliner type of design. Tell me in the comments, how do you like to do your eyeliner? Do you like to do a cat eye? Do you like to just do a straight line? Do you even put on eyeliner? And if so, do you use liquid liner? Tell me in the comments below because I want to know the tea. So I'm just going to apply that here. And because again I have hooded eyes, it's important not to have thick liner on my eyes because then it'll cut it off or it just looks like a crease and no eyelid and then just eyes. So it's important to have it thin. And also another tip is that if you want your eyes to look bigger, your eyeliner has to be thinner. But if you want your eyes to look smaller, then the eyeliner has to be thicker, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna do a cat eye. There we go. Nice. So now that the liquid liner has been applied, I like to apply a little bit of mascara before I put on my false lashes. So this one is by Marc Jacobs. I got the travel size. This is the Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara. I love this because it is pigmented. It is like a very dark black and it doesn't flake off or anything like that. Just gonna coat the upper lashes, and then after that, yes, Marc Jacobs, I see you. The next thing I'm going to do is apply false lashes, yes, to complete the look and slay the game. So let's see what we have here. I have the Wildcat by EBIN New York, and this model is Lucy. I just love these. They fan out. It is beautiful. So I'm just going to open them up and we are going to apply them. So I added these lashes off camera. I think that these are nice and dramatic for Viva Las Vegas. Yes, slaying the game. Ah, yeah. I love lashes because they can complete any look that you need to slay on the strip. So the next thing that I love to do is enhance the contour just a little bit with the Tarte's contour kit. So I'm just gonna take these 3 shades and dab that in there because she is getting ready. She is getting ready, yeah. And since this is Vegas, you know, we gotta add a little highlight to this mug, you know what I mean? So I'm going to get the Marc Jacobs Omega Glaze highlighter. I just love this. Like, check out that gold packaging. Like, Marc Jacobs, I see you. All you have to do is apply a little product and it goes a long way. You don't have to put a lot of highlighter to your face so you can get that glow. Yes, I love it. Apply it there, and there we go. So the next thing that I need to add to complete this look is a little bit of blush by Becca. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of pink on my cheeks, dab that in there. And you know, because we're in Vegas, we got to slay hunty. So I'm gonna use this highlighter and, you know, swirl that on my cheeks, and there you have it. And now I gotta add some lipstick to this face. So before that, I'm gonna prep it with the Versali Rose Gold Elixir. I just absolutely love this stuff. So I'm gonna shake it up a little bit, warm this up on the back of my hand, just to prep the lips so that way it's moisturized in this dry desert heat. Put that on there, nice and moisturized. Yes. It has like 24 karat gold flakes in it. It's just like amazing. And then whatever I have left over, I just rub on the back of my hand. Next thing that we need to do is put on some lip liner. So I'm gonna use this MAC lip crayon in the color Chestnut. So let's line the lips with that. I'm gonna go for more of a neutral lip look because I want my eyes to pop. So there you go. After adding the lip liner, I'm going to use the Pat McGrath mini lipsticks, and this one is in the shade Omi. It is a nice neutral pinky tone, so I'm just going to put that in the center of my lips. I love Pat McGrath's lipsticks because they are pigmented. Rub that in, and then I'm just going to touch that up with the lip liner and blend everything in. Now before I hit the strip and go to all the fabulous places of the clubs and the shopping, we need to set this face with some setting spray, okay? Because it is hot in Vegas, hunty. You know, we gotta keep this nice and tight. So I'm just gonna spray a little bit of this all-nighter Urban Decay setting spray. Yes. Let that dry a little bit. Yes, and set it. And we are ready to go and slay. Yes. Vegas! Woo! So this completes my get ready with me in Vegas. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you later, darling.